Because of the following special program, Private Benjamin will not be presented this evening.
Growing pains.
I'm gonna go back to manually doing doing the intro. I was trying to use this function they have in here called Pro Scenes, and the idea is that you build the videos and you build the videos in order, and then you play one, and they all play after each other. But it has not worked right yet. So I think all it's doing is serving to annoy the hell out of me. You look like nuclear holocaust is happening right where you're at.
I don't know why I didn't notice it earlier, but yeah, the white fence on my deck out there and the sun being over that way shining down, and I didn't pull the shade.
I'm waiting for you to go all Terminator here and start melting like in the in the scene there. It might help if I say hi to everybody. Hello everyone.
Hey everyone.
Welcome to Misti Media Live on a Tuesday night. Yes, you got us 2 weeks in a row here as we attempt to get ourselves back on schedule. I am Jay Hartman, the CEO, editor-in-chief of Misti Media, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. And with me, as always, is my faithful sidekick, Linda K. Hardie, coming from her undisclosed location in northern Nevada. And Linda, of course, is our editor-at-large for Picarones Press, our children's imprint. How you doing, Miss Linda?
I'm doing very good. Had a couple of submissions come in. Had also had someone send in a submission where the first sentence of the cover letter was, "I'm seeking representation for my middle grade novel."
And
No.
and that's
There's
nice. And what would
yeah,
you like
yeah.
us to do about that, since we are not agents?
That's pretty much what I said, because I don't have enough mail yet that I just ignore them completely.
I've been getting a lot of unsolicited manuscripts, like people who clearly did not read our submission guidelines.
Yeah, and this one hadn't either.
Yeah, I mean, uh, either offering me stuff that I clearly stated in our submission guidelines that we don't publish, or they you know, they they're submitting to me, and they're, well, not entitled to. I mean, we have rules in place about when people should send submissions to me directly and when they should go through, other channels. And
Mm-hmm.
one interesting one that happened was, I don't know if he just found a cached version of the website or what, but he sent me an apology note because he had sent a submission to Sandy uh, for for uh, unpublished authors, which we took off the website as soon as Sandy passed. Um, and But I still have her email address set up because I've got to be able to go in there and pull stuff out. But
Mm-hmm.
it has an autoresponder on there that states that Sandy passed and we no longer do that. And so he was he felt horrible because he had sent a submission to a dead woman, um, which I think Sandy probably would have just found hilarious, actually. uh,
Oh yeah, yeah. Can't you hear her chuckling? Yeah,
yeah. So
snorting.
I felt bad for him. I was I wrote him back and was like, "You're an asshole." No, I no, no, no. Um, I just explained that he must have caught a cached version of the website or something, because I went to look and couldn't find anything. Speaking of the website,
Yeah.
we are going to be able to launch the new website before the anniversary.
Ooh,
I
good.
I think it's very realistic that we will have the new website ready to go next month.
Nice.
Yeah. So for those of you out there that don't know the story, when I created Misty Media, and we bought the URLs, all the domains. At some point, apparently, Misty Media had been blacklisted. Uh, so every time I would go to post something with a link to the Misty Media website on Facebook, it wouldn't let me. It would tell me that uh, you know the URL had been reported as spam, and it wouldn't let us. I couldn't even put a link in Facebook Messenger. It wouldn't even allow me to do it there either. So what we had to do was split all of our imprints up into their own websites, because then that was the only way I could actually send people to websites to buy books. It
Mm-hmm.
was the retailers. Well, fast forward 2 years now that we've been operating, and we have finally cleared pretty much all the spam filters. Now I can actually use the Misty Media domain without any problem. So we're working on consolidating all of the imprints back under one roof. So that'll just be mistymedia.com. Um, we'll have a drop down menu at the top for each of the imprints. So when you go select it, you'll get to see uh, everything about that imprint, but then also you'll be taken to that specific store. So, but there's also going to be a way to see all the titles. So you can either narrow down the new store by looking for those specific imprint titles you want, or you can just go in and browse the whole catalog. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the the it's
That's
been
different moods for me. Some days I want to look at just everything. Other days it's like, okay, I can't take that genre right now, but I want to read this genre.
the it's been fairly smooth, but the one thing that really sucks about this move is that um, for all of the ebooks, there was no way to move over the titles and keep the files attached to them. So
Oh.
once all the titles are moved over, I have to go in and manually re-upload and attach all the files to all the ebooks.
Wow.
Yeah, not looking forward to that. So I'm
Can
kind
he
of
teach Zeke to do it? Zeke,
tempting.
Zeke.
You would think he should do something to earn his keep around here,
Hey,
but
he's a dog. He's supposed to. Cats, we expect them to be freeloaders.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, he should at least be have an only pause channel or something that you know I can sell his dog feet pics for money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like I mean that's kind of the worst thing I have ahead of me with the website. The rest of it's fairly straightforward. And then what we'll do is we'll do a bunch of redirects so that if people still have links to the other websites, if they go to that link, it'll automatically reroute them
Mm-hmm.
to media. Plus, having everything under one website will certainly help us with things like Google searches and
Mm-hmm.
SEO, because then we're not splitting the difference between all those places. And for those imprints that we have that don't have a whole lot of titles yet, it'll be good to be able to have a place for them and and it not look weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that. And we have. I should share with everybody. Let's see, share media. I want to show off. Do. Let's see where I put the file. If I can't find the file, I won't be showing off to anybody. Here we go. I have approved the final artwork for the new logo for Miraflora's Nights, which is
Ooh.
our romance and erotica imprint. And there it is.
Wow. Oh yeah. That is
So
nice.
it that
Ooh, very
I can tell
steamy.
you that that is literally what Miraflores looks like at night with the
Ooh.
cliff and all the neon lights. Um, I'm really stoked. I think that's going to be very very cool. I Not only is that going to look badass on a black T-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get that logo on a T-shirt. But I keep getting these ads in my Facebook feed for places that do neon signs for
Mm-hmm.
really low prices, and I'm thinking, how badass would that logo look as a lit up
Mm-hmm.
neon sign?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
more than anything, I can't wait to get that on a T-shirt. I think that's going to
Mm-hmm.
be so much fun. Uh, so what do you think? What do you think of the logo?
I think it's great. It's just it fits it. It's just the perfect logo for that imprint. Give you the taste
I
of
do.
adventure and sex and
Exactly.
romance and
It gives you that whole nighttime,
mm-hmm.
party, love, sex feel to it. So,
Yeah.
and then an update on the book fair. Let me see if I can find out what our current totals are. We've had so many of the folks who were resellers that were participating in our book fair. They have been making their donations,
Mm-hmm.
and we are now up to $548 raised from the book fair.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Uh, and that actually, out of all the teams that were raising money on the First Book website, we're at number 10. I don't know how many teams there are, but there's
We're
at
in the
least
top
48.
10.
We are in the top 10. So our goal was
Yep.
a little ambitious. We certainly will not make our goal, but I am stoked that that we even made that much. So
Yeah, this is one of my purchases. My very first favorite book ever. And a huggable character from AC.
I love that. I love that it came with that you were able to get like the book and stuffed animal combo.
Yeah, I have the book already right behind me, but yeah,
And you got that from Casey, who is
AC. Uh huh.
1889 House
Yeah,
is what she sells under on YouTube auctions.
yeah, and
And
I've got one, another one
you got
coming
one more
from
coming, right?
Angie's Oddities, and that's a book
Um,
of the character Corduroy, and then a stuffed bear of Corduroy.
which reminds me that Monday night I will be guesting on Angie's Oddities channel. I will be there selling titles from Misty Media. Um, so that is Monday night. I don't remember what time. Let me see. Do. Yep, no idea. Uh, it's in my notes somewhere. It'll pop. I'll be popping it into our post here somewhere that's going to be happening. Um, but the book fair is go. We're still running the book fair essentially through the end of the month. Um, we have a comment pinned in the comments over there in the YouTube with a page that takes you to a listing of all the titles that we're offering up for the book fair. $13 a piece includes free worldwide shipping, except on Linda's hardcover picture book, which is that one right there, Louis Larkey. We will ship it for free anywhere in the United States. Heck, we'll even get it autographed from Linda for you, uh, and even a custom message if you like. Um, but $13 per title, all brand new titles, nothing used. Uh, that is a huge savings over what you would pay even from our website. We're going
Mm-hmm.
ahead and give a pretty darn good discount there to anybody that's willing to do it. And if it has my name on it or Sandra Murphy's name on it, 100% of the proceeds will go to First Book, and then all
And
my other
mine too.
and Linda as well, and then all
Yeah.
my other authors have complete permission to donate however much they'd like. I can tell you that most folks have chosen to donate 100% of their royalties, which I think is very kind. So looking forward to that. And at this point, I know that not all the reseller money is in yet. I know there's still a few people who are looking to report in. Uh, I'm hoping we hit $1,000, but I would settle for 750. Um, Either way, I think we've done. I think we've done well, and
Yeah.
the
For our first
520.
one.
Yeah, and 548 goes a long way.
Mhm.
For First Book to be able to do what they need to do for kids, and I think we proved the concept of the online book fair works.
Mm-hmm.
So I see us doing it again next year, uh, and we'll plan a little bit more in advance and get some more people signed up, and we'll make another successful. But at least through August 31st, we'll continue to offer. If you see on any of our shows, the link that's in there, and we'll keep selling the books through the end of the month. Tooch, hey Tooch. Tooch
Hey.
says, "Hey Jay, got your email working list for you and invoicing all book fair tomorrow. Thank you, sir. I
Ah.
appreciate that." Um, Tooch during the book fair, man, he debuted a ton of really cool 3D printed uh, book accessories and book and like little decorations, like little books that sit on the end of your shelf with swinging feet, and
Ah.
really 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 cool stuff. Some beautiful bookmarks that he 3D printed. So what we're going to be doing with all that is I've asked Tooch to essentially send me a product catalog of everything he made, because we are going to go ahead and get the Misty Media merch store launched,
I love
where
merch. I love merch.
I do too. And most importantly, the new merch store, 50% of the proceeds of what we make in the merch store are going to go to the Misty Media Author Fund, which is basically an emergency fund for our authors that if something unexpected comes up in their life and they need a little bit of a help, hopefully we'll have enough money in the fund to be able to lend a hand here and there to any of the authors that might need it. So it'll be a good cause. We I
Yeah.
haven't quite figured out yet how that incorporates into um, the new website. I think we may end up spinning the merch off, as a link from the main website, uh,
Mhm.
but not having it mixed in the catalog with the books.
Yeah.
Have it kind of be its own destination, its own kind of thing. Um, Still working out, just because there's going to be a lot of product in there. Uh, Besides, we're going to have a lot of T-shirts and mugs and uh,
Yeah.
all kinds.
Kind of fond of t-shirts.
I did a test of of a t-shirt. I'm very, very picky. There's certain fabrics I just can't handle against my skin.
And
Um,
tags.
and tags. So I had one T-shirt printed with the Misty Media logo on the back, um, and I've been wearing it pretty regularly now for a few weeks to see how it held up. Super comfortable, even after multiple washings. Didn't shrink at all in the
Ooh.
wash. The logo on the back, none of it's flaked off or so I think I found a good one, and I think it's a fabric that I was trying to pay attention to what people with sensory issues like myself might need, so that we you know uh, don't make a whole bunch of itchy shirts out there for people. So
Mm-hmm.
and,
Yeah.
again, I don't know that we're going to hawk it. Uh, I don't know that we're going to hawk it a ton, other than just kind of mention it and probably a link on the homepage. But obviously, I want to push our titles more than I want to push our merch. But it
Mm-hmm.
goes for a good cause. So Tooch says we'll catch up this week about logistics and stuff. Got a few questions for you. No, no questions. I don't take questions from the paparazzi. No, I am way too important. No, all right. No, 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 Tooch. You send all the questions you want, buddy. We will get it all figured out.
Getting
So
crowded in here.
what's new? And you guys, you might notice that we've taken it kind of casual today. We wanted to make sure we were having our show, and we wanted to make sure we were still talking about what's going on with Misty Media and in publishing. But Linda and I were both just kind of in that mood that we didn't want to tackle any heavy subjects tonight, or that required a whole lot of research.
Mm-hmm.
We want to just come and enjoy the company, and have it book related, but not, no pressure with to dance, monkey dance, uh, dance for your audience. So what's new in your world, Miss Linda? I am glad to hear that you are no longer in danger from the fires.
Yeah. 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 And I was just so glad that I had a car because last summer, there were no fires near me, thank goodness, but I had no car. And my plan then was okay, first I'll try knocking on her door, then I'll try knocking on her door, and then his door, and then her door. And hi, got room for me and my cats? That was my plan for last year. This year is like, okay, I got this good, reliable car, and my go bags at the door. But yeah, it was the there was a get ready for evacuation yellow alert that came within 6 miles of me, of my house.
Jeez, have you
Yeah,
has it been that close before?
no, no, that's the closest. I mean, there was a one of those little grass fires along the side of the freeway that kind of almost got out of hand, but we were talking, handfuls of acres, and it got reasonably close to the other side of this neighborhood, but this was the biggest one that's been anywhere near me.
Linda Tooch
Not yet.
asks if you have
Not
multiple children's books.
not yet. Not published. I haven't.
Uh,
I got so many picture books written, and I got a couple of middle grade written, but that's my only published one right now.
So Tooch, the hardback that we offer from Linda was actually from a previous publisher that closed its doors, and Linda still had copies from them. So we're helping her to move those along. But Linda's also the editor at large for our children's imprint, Peeker on His Press. So not only are we selling her book, but she's in charge of bringing us all new children's content for that imprint. So, and we will be publishing a full length from Linda next year for under Peeker on His Press, and then whatever other tasty morsels she brings to the table, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I had mentioned to Sandy a fantasy novel, a middle grade fantasy novel I'd written, but I need to do one big start at the beginning and just read through and revise as I go because it's pretty choppy.
Well, what the hell are you waiting for, woman?
Yeah, I know. I don't have enough to do.
Your copious amounts of free time over there in your undisclosed
Exactly.
location in northern Nevada.
Working jobs for paying housing and food and cats and car now. But yeah. Copious amounts of time.
Now the food part is just overrated. You know, we can all
Yeah,
live on celery.
not the cats though. Not the cats. Cats are obligate carnivores. No celery for them.
I told Tooch wants to know, does he have to take that kind of abuse from me, Linda? You gonna step up and protect Tooch from me?
Oh, I don't take abuse from anybody.
I told you were just talking about the expenses and all that. I told people on the night shift on Friday. Um, it appears that my ER bill uh, is in fact going to be at the maximum amount that the ER normally charges. Uh, so I'm looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $14,000 for the 4 hours I was there. Uh,
Uh,
and uh, we did the calculations, and it would have been cheaper for me to die.
uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So the cremation would have been a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
uh, so
Unfortunately,
I made a bad financial decision. Uh,
unfortunately, I know about the cost of cremation, but yeah. Well, all my everybody I know, all my friends, coworkers at my jobs, they know that if I fall down, they are not to call 911. I'd rather they not even call it Uber. Cab is better, but yeah,
that's how
just just just
I
throw
took
me in
it.
Trish's Jeep and zip me down, and but not the
I took
emergency room.
Yeah, I mean, I took an Uber to the emergency room. Yeah, I couldn't
Mhm.
drive myself, and I was like, "There's no way in hell I'm paying for an ambulance."
What is it? 4,000, 2,000? I mean, we're talking at least four figures.
I mean, it would have been a trade off because most of the EMT guys are hot. So, like, I could have
Yeah,
had hot guys fussing over me
and
on the way to the hospital, on the way to the emergency room, instead of like an Uber driver who didn't talk
didn't speak
two words
English.
the whole trip, and that was kind of disappointing. So, uh, look at that! I just made bad decision after bad decision that night. Right? I
Yeah,
it didn't pick the hot EMTs, didn't pick the
yeah,
cremation. What was I thinking? Where
yeah,
was my head? I was clear.
yeah.
I must have been ill to be making those kind of decisions. So
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sandy's up there going. "Ugh."
yeah, yeah.
I'm glad to see you're hydrating, though. I saw your was
Um,
it it's a Coke bottle again or something? Coke can.
that is my. I don't care about advertising.
Pepsi. Okay.
That is my Pepsi Zero. Pepsi, we're not monetized. We don't have any sponsors. I'm an addict. I'm addicted. I will happily go and extol your virtues. All you have to do is send me free cases, and I will go on air telling everybody how much I love Pepsi Zero.
And I exclusively drink iced tea, black tea, iced tea. Um, used to drink Red Rose, but now I'm drinking Irish breakfast tea that I can either get from Tetley brand at Winco, or I can get the Trader Joe brand, which I think is just Tetley as well. But hey, yeah, all
Linda,
great stuff, great stuff.
you know that absolutely none of us believe you, right? And that we all know that that thing is at least three-quarters full of alcohol.
Well,
There's
I
whiskey. There is a whole ton of whiskey floating around that glass.
I I'm not going to mix that with iced tea, and and by the way, Scotch is a beautiful golden color, like yeah, that color that. And Trader Joe's. Hey, that's it. Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. I love your scotch. Get
Wow,
a
we're completely
sponsor.
shameless.
Yeah.
Hey Linda, I got a question for you because this came up in a discussion online this past week, and I am curious for your take on this. Um, it was like one of those things. I was like, oh, we may not have a show, but I've actually got a question for Linda when if this comes up. So,
Oh, you get a free ebook.
yeah. Oh, goody. Guess what I need? More shit to read.
Ebook.
Uh, Somebody commented. I won't say who. I'm not going to mention names. But somebody in my friend group on Facebook made a post. Tooch says Trader Joe's has scotch.
Mm-hmm.
Tooch, Trader Joe's has everything, man. You
Their
name it, they
their
got it.
their store brand blended scotch is so inexpensive and it's so good. It's better than a lot of other scotches. Not the. And then they also have ones that are like aged and Island and Islay and what else? Oh, anyway, sorry.
Do you mix it with
Geeking
anything,
out
or you just drink it? You just drink it.
on the rocks, rocks. I know my ancestors are rolling over in their graves that I'm drinking it cold, but hey,
Tooch says he's in.
all right, yeah, yeah.
Well, Tooch, get your butt out here. Get your butt out here to Nevada, and we'll get Linda down, and we'll all get down with some Trader Joe's scotch. Well, it'll be a
Mm-hmm.
party.
Yeah.
So Linda, this person made the comment: if you're using AI for your marketing, as far as I'm concerned, you used AI to write your book.
Mm. Well, I think it depends on how you use AI, because if you just say to AI, "Hey, do some marketing for me," and then you go and and whatever and let it do its thing, that's that's not good. But if you're using it as a tool, I mean, there are AI like components everywhere. Most people have AI on their phones that they're using. They don't realize they're using
I mean,
because
all
all the
the
new
all the
phones.
all the all the assistants that I'm leery because I don't want to set off anybody's phone or something by using the magic code words that launch them. But
Oh, like the names of their search,
exactly. I mean,
their
those
people.
are AI agents.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I pointed out that if you're buying Amazon ads, if you're buying Facebook ads, if you're buying pay for clicks, all of that is based on computer algorithms,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that is AI driven and always has been. We just didn't
Mm-hmm.
call it AI. We just said it was a computer algorithm. But I mean, if you're using AI to create the ad, is that so bad either? If you're a small press and you don't have $3,000 to go throw at for one title for a regular ad, is it so bad? Is it so much of a sin to be using AI for marketing?
Well, I think it's how you're using it, because you can, like, we've talked about doing doing the slides for the show and everything, and you'll give it a prompt and tell it things, and no, that's not right, and you're fiddling with it, and you're using it as a tool to take your vision and put it out, like people do with power not PowerPoint, the paint programs that
Yeah,
where you can Photoshop and all that sort of stuff, where you can put things together, and you don't have to actually, and like in the old days, cut with scissors and paste that on there and all that. You're using the computer tools and the AI. If you're not using the Gen AI, where you say, write me a novel where it's a fantasy, and then it's like Chuck Tingle or something, don't
right.
anything like that, and then you walk away and you come back and there's this, you know, 80,000 word novel. That is, I feel that's criminal, because you're
I mean,
having having.
I'm absolutely seeing ads on Facebook that are doing exactly that. They're pitching to
Mhm.
people, come buy our product. You can put 10 to 20 books up on Amazon in 48 hours with our special program. Okay, I get that. I
Mhm.
completely, I completely agree. That is AI slop. That is not the way to
Yeah.
go. Tooch says, I brainstorm with ChatGPT all the time. I even have arguments with my AI assistant all the time. It's like a marriage. So
Ooh, ooh,
Tooch,
ooh, ooh. Tooch,
Tooch, I use a company called Magica, um, but it's an interesting thing because it has access to all of the different AI engines. And instead of you having to pick one, you tell it in real English what it is you need to do, and it figures out what's the best options to do what you want. And I've used it tremendously for the business. I mean, it's created all my contracts. It issues all my contracts for me. It runs all my royalty statements. Like I've really harnessed it for the business aspect of it. But have I used it for cover design? Yes, because I've had some cases where I paid cover designers because I wanted a specific look, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, I saw one of your samples that looked just like somebody had cut figures
It was
out and was
awful.
pasting them, and it was awful. Yes, I mean,
I mean,
I'm not a designer, and I don't have the designer brain, but I could have done better than
so
that
I mean,
on a program.
this right here is a book that we published today. Oh, it's a PNG, so it's not going to show up. Never mind. I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
I don't know why PNGs don't work in EVMux, but they don't.
They don't work in a lot of places. I accidentally save things like that, and then I'm going,
I could have sworn I had saved it also as a.
oh
Oh
look,
yeah.
look behind me.
Oh, and I can't do a PDF either. All right, well, hell with all of you. That's fine. Um, but I don't. There's people that are going to say that I robbed some cover artist designer of their work, and I don't. If I'm the one that sat there and wrote every single detail of what I wanted in that cover, it came out of my brain. I brainstormed it, and I told it exactly. I didn't just say, "Yeah, write me," make me up a sci-fi cover, but I specifically said, "Here, read this book. Here's the manuscript. Read the manuscript." And then I tweaked it as we went along.
Because
How
the
is that?
character looks like this, and the situation is that, and buildings and and
And
hammocks and
what's amazing is it nailed it. And I mean, considering we're talking about aliens, that all looked different and weird on the page, and then it brought those characters to life, and the author confirmed, yes, that's what I had in my mind for what they should look like. I mean, that to me is pretty amazing. That's not something I don't think you could have gotten to that point with necessarily with a human artist
unless
without a
the
whole lot of going back and forth.
going
And
back and forth, or if the human artist is also the writer, which you get in picture books a lot. You have the writer illustrators who are taking their visions and putting it down visually as well as in words. But yeah, yeah, it's something that's really hard to do, and
and I get it.
and
Everybody.
it's not stealing from someone else. It's not plagiarizing someone else's work. It's taking what you're saying and actually
Let's see that. See that.
moving.
What everybody says is the argument is that AI wouldn't know how to do any of this stuff if it hadn't been trained on existing artwork from existing authors. And I think if you're asking it to reproduce something in the style of that artist, that's one thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how, like, the intro that we have for the night shift that I did with AI, that 1 minute clip or 2 minute clip that introduces the night shift took 8 hours of me going back and forth with the AI, telling it the camera angles, telling it the lighting, telling, like, really relying on a lot of stuff I went to film school for, to remember
Mm-hmm.
how I wanted to backlight things and how I wanted the final images to look, how many seconds to linger on a specific spot. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is it, to me, yeah, AI did the actual graphic representation of it, but I'm the one that
That
took all
created
that
it.
time to actually, storyboard it and create the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like AI has become this monster, that people have created. People have created this monster called AI that
Mm-hmm.
no matter what it is in the world, it must be AI and therefore must be wrong. And I think every generation has had something that comes along when it comes to creating art or creating writing, and
The
people have said,
typewriter.
yeah, I mean,
The
oh, the typewriter is going to
typewriter was
kill, you know,
it, it, it. The typewriter actually changed the way the writers thought and how they got their words down because it's much slower when you're writing with, especially a quill pen. Dip, dip, right, right, dip, dip, right, right, dip, dip, right, right. Ah, and the typewriter, and there, you should see some. I've done a lot of research into typewriters, some weird ones
well, I
initially, and
mean, think about when word processing came along, and all of a sudden
mm-hmm.
you no longer needed whiteout and buying ribbons, and uh, you're able to
Ow.
hit delete and delete the words you wrote.
Getting caught in me. Yeah, yeah, and copy and paste, and don't have to
And
throw away
what
page after page because
I
I
mean,
made a
what
mistake.
about what did people get that bent out of shape about spell check?
Yeah, some
You know,
people did.
spell
Yeah.
spell check would be leveraging knowledge. It was written based on the knowledge that people had created regarding rules for spell check. Does that mean that you should never have had spell check and only retained editors because a human did that job first? I just feel like it's becoming this scapegoat, um,
Yeah.
and people are being too quick to are being too quick to see when it's actually useful, and when it can be actually used as a tool. Look at all the people that I mean, I do remember when there was the outrage about, like, Microsoft Paint, or any kind of computerized graphic drawing program, and everybody
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Oh, it's going to be the death of art. It's going to be the death of art." And look what it did for animation.
And
And
but there are still people out there that look at computer art as still being, oh, that's not real art. I know a lot of computer artists, and what they create is just mind-blowingly good art.
I mean,
But
I
if
do.
when people find out it's they created it digitally, it's like, oh.
Yeah,
But
right,
I know a
exactly.
lot of
So,
old people.
somehow suddenly it's less than.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I remember when Aladdin, the animated movie Aladdin, came out. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
it goes back to before that, to Beauty and the Beast. When Beauty and the Beast, when they're dancing and they enter the big library ballroom, and all of that was computer generated, and people
Mm-hmm.
had a fit because it wasn't traditional animation like the rest of the movie. It was done on a
Mm-hmm.
computer. I was starting to say Aladdin because there's a lot of scenes in Aladdin that were done with a computer, especially in the Cave of Wonders, and people flipped out. But now, like, what, we wouldn't have Toy Story. We
Mm-hmm.
would, Toy Story wouldn't
And
exist if we hadn't had that.
with Aladdin, you had the Robin Williams performance as the genie, and there's no way that you could animate that because I mean he
Right.
was
Way
animated
too
in real
manic.
life, and so
Yeah.
they used some computer capture to get that onto the screen.
So yeah, I'm really torn. I will never publish a book knowingly that was written by AI, because that's not what I'm about. Um, I want to support authors, and I want to support, and there's one retailer we deal with that requires me to mark a box that, if any aspect of the book was done with AI, I have to check a box that says this book was created with AI, which I think is disingenuous. So I've gone to
Mm-hmm.
add a line in our description at that retailer that says, AI elements were used in the cover, no AI was used in the writing of the book. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because I want people to know that no, we don't do that. We're publishing the authors and their actual writing. But I'll be damned if I'm going to go ahead and accept a shitty cover just for the sake of letting a human do it. My job is to give the books the best possible covers they can at a price that I can afford.
And
And
and the thing is, you are creating it because you're taking your vision and you're getting your vision onto the book.
yeah,
And
it's tough. I understand both sides of it. Um, but I do think, like anything, there is a time and place for tools.
hmm
And I think
yeah,
there's a big difference between letting it do everything for you 100% and then trying to profit off of that. I think there's a big
hmm
difference between that and using it as a tool to reach an end for the finished
yeah.
product.
I've mentioned before that David Gerald, the author David Gerald, um, has written long essays about this, long rants about this, well thought out rants, written out of his brain about using AI as a tool. And before I'd read any of his rants, I thought, oh, any AI, ah! And then seeing what he said about using it as a tool, like your description of you spending hours and hours working on getting the cover, getting whatever material, visual material, to fit the vision in your head, using your film school skills and talents and all that knowledge to get everything to look the way it is, not just slapping it out. And
Right.
why is that less than somebody that calls themselves an artist? Because I know people that are just, we all know people that are just in things for the money, and there are some that call themselves artists, and they just get a, you know, Microsoft Paint or something like that, and they just slap some generic stuff that they get from, the words are falling out of my head. Um, um, um,
Well, it's like they're getting clip art and they're getting,
clip art, and then the photos that
yeah,
stock
public
photos.
stock
Okay,
photos. Yeah.
stock photos and clip art. You get stuff like that. That's nowadays a lot of that's maybe AI, but you get stuff like that, and you just slap it on the page and on the screen and do it in
I mean,
do it in an hour,
a lot of our
30
covers,
minutes.
have been done with stock photos. Um, you know,
hmm
uh, I
But why
just
why is that why is that superior to move a couple of stock photos onto a page? Why is that superior to you saying, okay, I want the light source to be from here, and I want the depth of field, and I want the
right.
to linger for so many seconds. That's creation that you're talking about. Just saying, slap, slap, done. You know.
See, I see, Tooch. I agree. AI frees up the creative people to spend more time creating and less time on the required mundane stuff. I agree. I mean, again, I've been using it primarily for running the business on the back end. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that I can go to AI and say, because it's created 4 different author templates for me for contracts, that I can just say, here's a list of everybody that's in this anthology. I need you to create individual contracts for each one of these people, and here's their name and address. And in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's issued 20 contracts for me. I could never do it in that kind of time frame on my own without the help of AI. And when I get a response back from an author who, has never, her book has been republished a few times and they've never gotten her main character right on the cover, and then she
Mm-hmm.
finally sees it the way it's always been in her head, and she says to me, "This makes me want to write another book in the series." Like
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah.
that's the highest compliment you can get for that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Makes you
what's
read more of
what's
them.
wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
the other thing I've been noticing is you know a lot of AI music is slipping into the streaming services now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to tell what's AI and what isn't. What kills me is when somebody talks about how much they love a song and how much it's really cool, but the second they find out that it's AI created, now they hate it. Now there's no way they'll listen to it. Now they're going to ban it. Why? The song clearly worked. It clearly made you feel something, or enough to enjoy it and want to listen to it multiple times over. Does it really matter the source of creation? Maybe the problem isn't the AI. Maybe the problem is all those other albums where there's only 2 or 3 good songs and you don't want to listen to the rest of the album.
For me, when I see any art created by AI, um, especially words, because that's my business, I don't I don't see a soul in it. But I see that kind of writing coming out of human beings, because I've seen
Yeah.
that for years, where teaching English comp to first year students, all sorts of stuff. I've seen that sort of soulless writing coming out of human beings, and I haven't seen any AI writing that has that spark of
I
the
agree. I agree. It's very
of the
flat.
yeah.
It's
Hmm.
very matter of fact.
Hmm.
It just is. There doesn't know how to build on that. Tooch says with music, the same thing happened when auto tune came out. Yep, yep.
Uh-huh. Everybody, you didn't need a good voice. You just okay. Let's just crank the auto tune and.
The whole thing with people forget that the main argument for things like Napster back in the day wasn't about stealing music. It was about people who were fed up with paying $9.99 for an album or a cassette or a CD, or $12.99 for a CD, and having only 2 good songs and everything else on the album sucked. And here you've
Hmm.
saved up the money to go out and buy the album, and it wasn't worth the $12.99 you paid for it. So then Apple opened up this whole new market that said, well, here, just pay $1 each for each song you actually like. Now here's your chance to do a la carte. Buy only the songs you actually like, and hey, you get a slight price break if you buy the whole album. But that whole model and sharing of music wasn't about trying to steal or trying to shortcut. It was about pushing back. Hey, we think what's out there is crap, and
Hmm.
the only way we're going to be able to get the stuff we like is in this model. And I think in many ways the same thing's happening with AI. People are tired. When KDP opened up the floodgates so that every Tom, Dick, and Harry who shouldn't be published went ahead and published their book and put a ton of real slop out there into the marketplace, people got fed up with it and said, I don't like this. I don't like your crappy covers. I don't like your poorly written material. I I still don't like your albums that only have one good song on it and nothing else. So I think the technology has always been about a response to what people are dissatisfied with, and nobody ever wants to accept the responsibility of fixing that problem, so we end up letting a computer fix the problem for us. That's my hot take on it.
Yeah,
And
used to have to. I did some profiles and articles about people for a PR firm for a year, a little over a year, and they wanted me to put my articles through Grammarly
mhm.
to make sure I had all the commas in the right place. Well, first of all, copy editor. Usually I'm in the right place, but okay, I'll do it. Well, I would get into fist fights with Grammarly because it would take my beautiful sentences and just turn them into the most basic form,
Yeah,
and every sentence had to be see spot run, run spot run. You couldn't say running at high speed, spot chase the squirrel. No, spot chase the spot. And then just no. It
it
just flattened everything out to
it's
just.
funny because what that's also the problem with sending uh, when people try to outsource proofreading and editing to other countries to save money.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
There was a
shit, yeah.
company. There was a company that I had used for other reasons for a while. They were making EPUB files for me, and they were doing some technical stuff. But they also offered proofreading and copy editing. And I said, well, you know what? The rates were really good. I'll give them a shot with the proofreading. The thing was, they had, because it was overseas, they had no concept of American humor or uh,
Mhm.
sarcasm or nuance, and so they would send back all these things that need to be edited. That no, you don't
Yeah,
touch any of that. None of that. All of that was
that's a
perfectly fine.
joke.
And it was.
That's a pun. That's a joke. That's snark.
Yeah,
I mean, I cut me and I bleed snark.
but that's the problem. Like you were pointing out, that's the problem with AI writing books. It's
Hmm.
the exact same problem. It doesn't understand human nuance. It doesn't understand puns. It doesn't
It
understand.
doesn't understand human emotion either, and
Yeah,
that's what I read for is the emotions.
yeah. So a lot of people disagree with me. I am not sitting here advocating that everything should be done in AI. That's not what I'm saying at all.
No.
But I think, just like Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility.
Hmm.
Um, but I think when used responsibly and used as a tool, not as a crutch, I think there are legitimate uses for it to improve things. Tooch says, funny thing about AI is that it will tell on itself. You can scan books, essays, songs, etc. with AI to get percentage of that. It was created using AI. Yeah. Although I will tell you that I got into an argument with somebody because I knew for a fact that one of our covers was not created using AI, and they were absolutely insistent that it was.
Hmm.
Uh, to the point that we really had an argument about it, and I was pretty pissed off. And nowadays, it's one of those things where if anybody even just suspects that, because something's so different, or that the punctuation is so precise, I've been seeing a
Hmm.
lot of people complain about the use of M dashes. That supposedly
Hmm.
the use of an M dash proves that it was written by AI. I don't know
And
how you get. I don't know how you get
there's
to that conclusion.
and then there's the certain words that
Yes,
oh, that's an AI. I'm a word geek. I use the exact word that I don't want to use it that conveys the exact shade of meaning.
right,
There's a difference between cook and broil. There's a difference between cry and bawl.
right.
There's and and no, don't know. But um well, there's a famous meme going around that people put Mary Shelley's Frankenstein into AI, and it came back confidently sure that it was 100% AI written.
That's
Mary Shelley's
ridiculous.
Frankenstein from yeah. That's how she wrote it. Is she this 19-year-old girl came forward in time and
Yeah.
told AI to write it for her, and then she took it back and laboriously hand wrote it, and yeah.
If anything, I think that proves that just because you get AI to scan something doesn't mean that it accurately can recreate it or can recognize it itself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And the thing is, everybody talks about it hallucinating. It's lying. It's making shit up as it goes.
it's interesting about that because I think it also comes down to how good of an agent it is. The one that I use for Magica, from Magica, um, I've experienced almost none of that. But
Mm-hmm.
Gemini from Google constantly takes me down the wrong. I'll be asking it to walk me through something in a piece of software I'm using, and it's giving me instructions on what to do, and I'll do it. I'm like, well, that button doesn't even exist there, and they're like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's my bad. It doesn't exist. I'm like, well, then why'd you tell me it did in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
I just ran into that trying to fix something at my day job, trying to puzzle out a problem at the day job with two pieces of software I'm using. And I can't tell you this round robin circle I kept going in with Gemini because it just never believed that I mean, it just kept telling me confidently, yeah, go do this. And I'm like, you can't do that. It doesn't even exist in the program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also in many ways, it's like a toddler. You know, you can have a 2.5, 3 year old kid knock that lamp over, and you say, "Hey, you knocked the lamp over." No, I didn't.
Right.
They know that you saw them, but can I get away with it? And the AI is kind of doing the same thing, but not really, because the kid, is thinking and feeling emotions and coming up with that response. Ooh, let's see what I can do. But the AI is just, who cares?
Well, Tooch says it's only as good as the data it's mined or been fed. Yeah, garbage in, garbage out. The Geico
Mm-hmm.
effect. Um,
And
and
it's been taught to authoritatively give its answers.
and
It,
I
it does.
would argue that humans also have the same problem of
Oh
the guy
yeah,
going. Your writing capabilities are still only as good as what you were taught and what you learned. Um, I mean, same thing. Garbage in, garbage out. Tooch says I saw this too. Tooch, I saw an article today that Google is buying all of Spirit Airlines info to train its AI. Yep, I saw that as well. I thought that was interesting, but it's for uh, but it's supposed to be able to improve uh, flight planning, and so I mean it's not necessarily training on passenger data. It's primarily training on uh, flight data, and the planning of routes and things like that. So like supposedly make a big improvement somehow in aviation. We'll see.
yeah,
Um, Everybody always says it's for an innocuous reason. So, well, geez,
yeah.
Linda. I mean, we came on thinking we'd go down one rabbit hole, and we end up going down a different rabbit hole. It's already been an hour, and my God, uh, look how the time flies.
Yeah. Time flies when you're time flies when you're bashing the AI.
Yeah, I wasn't really where I thought we were going tonight, but this, whenever you and I get a chance to turn ourselves loose, we
And
never we
see,
never
see,
quite know where that's going to take us.
hey, I told you I would bet money that we would come on without a real clear topic, and we would definitely go an hour.
Thanks, Tooch. We loved having you here, man.
Yeah, that was really helpful.
Well, I'll be back. We don't have an interview this week on the night shift on Wednesday, but I'll be back on Friday night with the night shift and the Friday night hang. Everybody's just welcome to come and hang out and be a part of the crowd. Uh, Tell us what's going on your week. Um, Monday morning, I am co hosting on the morning show with Johnny Cajun Roots Reseller. I'm filling in for Mark from Two Old Guys Vintage, who's going to be out. So I will be the guest host Monday. Monday evening, I will be selling Misty Media titles with Angie over at Angie's Oddities, part of Monday Market. So yeah, I'm going to be out and about quite a bit on some of them their YouTube stuff.
And
Linda,
then we'll
what
be
you?
back on the 1st, September 1st.
Yeah, we do get a week off here, right?
Yeah.
Yay! All right. What have you got going on, Miss Linda?
Reading manuscripts, some stories that I'm writing and trying to get in under deadline. Um, I had a great workshop yesterday. My friend Susie is like the world's best writing teacher, and I every time I take one of her classes or workshops, I always end up with a good piece of writing afterward, and I've sold about half of them or more.
Cool.
Yeah. So knock wood for this one.
Awesome. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for Linda and I for this episode. Please, as a reminder, we are not monetized. So please do hit that thumbs up and do share out to your crowds. We'd really appreciate it. Of course, the best way you can support us and our authors is by buying our titles. Please visit any of the links below in the show notes. Don't forget, through August 31st, we do have our special promos for the book fair to benefit First Book. That is pinned to the comments in today's show. $13 per title, includes free worldwide shipping. So plenty of good titles in there for you to choose from. In the meantime, find a really good book to read it, come here, tell us all about it. Thank
Yeah.
you, folks. Have a good one.